Yeah, yeah. Roane. Oh, you wanna get about your life? Think about your purpose in the night. Spend a couple minutes of your time, see a vision of the light that you're trying to fight. Let me guide you all into the light. I'm exhausted. All these rappers bragging how they frosted, and nobody making no deposit. Bar game Martian, flow so ill, got 'em coughing. Caught a couple bodies like a mosh pit. Oh, you think you got this? Now you finna botch it. Fast lane living, knowing that we all watching. Cop a couple cars and the brand new watching. Soon you finna pass it to the pond like Stockton. Labels got you feeling like Boshin. MIA, the way y'all blood stop popping. Y'all MIA when collectors start calling. But still you got the nerve to spin the whole damn track. Talking about how you stay ballin'. You're falling off into the land of the deep end. Sharks stay hunting for the weak man. Come and grab a seat, fam. I am here to teach man how to be a G-O-D with the green bands. I am King Midas. Touch anything, you gon' buy it. Pull up, don't even try it, cause I be divine. Girl finna show up and ride it. Show her how we multiply. And I know that I'm lying, but you still steadily crying. Randomly saying yo, go.
Yo, man, it's the Chop It Up podcast, man. It's your boy Hawklyfe, and I got a special guest in the building. First and foremost, before we get into it, man, what you just heard was King Midas by independent artists, and our special guest, Roane. Roane, introduce yourself.
What's good? What's good? It's your boy Uncle Jemimo. I am currently with Aunt Jemima, so if you're trying to get in a sticky situation, I'm probably the reason for it. You feel me?
And so, man, basically, man, then get it started, man. Tell me what your creative process like as far as when you're in the studio and you're making a song. What kind of things inspire you and influence your music?
So I very much dependent on what beat I get. I can't write without like a proper beat. So I'll spend hours and hours just sifting through a bunch of beats until I find one that kind of grabs my attention. I usually go through and make sure that I can have a hook to it. And so if I can't hear the hook or the melody with it, I might not need the words. But if I can't hear the melody or the rhythm and the cadence of the hook, then I just got to skip past the beat and try and figure it out. But once I do find one that I get the hook down, locked down, then I make sure I get that one first. And then after that, I start penning out the verses. I used to play the drums back a couple of years ago. And so I'm usually figuring out what the flow and cadence I want of the track is before I actually attach the lyrics to it. And so I'll scat it out kind of like a jazz style, scat out the flows that I want, put it in voice memos, and then just kind of listen back to it. And once I get the words, it might take an hour, it might take 6 months. It really just depends, honestly, on however long it takes. But that's usually the process I go with. And then after that, usually takes about a day or two to mix and master and get it out. And I try not to sit on stuff too long either. And so once it's done, I try and get it out into the world and be done with it. That way it's not sitting on my hard drive collecting dust.
Absolutely. I heard you say that you mix and master your own music, produce your own music. Like, what kind of software do you use? Just tell us about that whole process. Like, as far as do you do your own beats and
So I do produce. I've found a lot of people that produce about 40, 50 times better than me. So I try and delegate that out as much as possible. Um, Occasionally I'll make like a reference demo of a beat I want, and then somebody far better than I will go through and make it better. But as far as mixing and mastering, I used to do everything myself, and then I went down to a place down here. It's a local place. It's the people who manage me. It's called Trend Music, and they have an engineer there that works wonders. And so I sit down with him, mix things with him now. That King Midas was one that kind of gave me a little bit of a guidance with it. And then I went home, mixed it myself. I used Logic Pro. And then if anybody out there, if you're serious about music and you really want to like up your mixing game, I'm gonna put you on some game plugin alliance. It's like $15 a month. It gives you access to every single studio level plugin that you will ever need in your entire life. It is glorious. I swear by it. It's amazing.
absolutely, absolutely, man. Yeah, I've heard about Logic, and a lot of people have a lot of great things to say about the Logic software as a whole. Um, Now, the song we definitely listened to was King Midas. What made you come up with the name, and what was your inspiration behind this album, and what's the story behind it? The whole process.
So there's a site called Ratpad that I'm on pretty frequently, and what I do, I have a group called the Roane Talent Group that I've plucked a couple of people around, and I kind of mix them for free. and they had songs that weren't really up to par because they just lacked engineering aspect. Like they had good concepts and good recordings, they just didn't know how to engineer their own vocals. And so what I took their songs, and then they sent me the stems for the stuff that they get now, and then I mix them and then I put them out there. And eventually people started calling me King Midas because like everything I touched turned to gold from like what it was before. And I was like, oh, that's kind of dope concept. And then I found that beat and I was like, oh, I think this could work out pretty well. Then it just kind of spiraled off of that. So that's kind of where it started.
Mm. So that whole project was based off of random moments of creativity. What kind of artists inspire you? What kind of music you listen to? What's in your playlist?
So, this is probably where I diverge from a lot of other artists. I really don't be listening to music that much, honestly. Like I've done my due diligence like years back. Like I've gone through all of Kanye's discography. I've gone through all of Eminem's discography. I've gone through Jay-Z's. I've gone through Nas, like all the hip hop stuff. I get a lot of pop influence. I've listened to Ariana Grande stuff, Post Malone's, Ed Sheeran, like all of them stuff. I've listened to like the big artist people, but on the regular, I don't really listen to like music as far as playlisting. Most of the stuff just kind of comes from A, inspiration from people that I've engineered for, or B, just kind of whimsical ideas that I've thought up on my own. But I don't really have like a playlist right now, which I probably should at some point because I'm kind of running dry on inspiration and I feel like that would help. But as of now, I'm not really a big music listener, sadly.
How long have you been doing music, and what's been the pros and cons of pushing that music career as far as you're trying to do?
I made my first song 10 years ago on an iPad and GarageBand back in high school. It was a Skyrim rap, and so that's my origins. And then I just kind of went off and on. Started getting pretty serious into like honing my craft about 4 years ago, and then about probably May, I really started to like push stuff seriously as far as like I think I have a chance at making a career in music. And so it's been kind of spotty, but I'd say probably about 3 4 years worth of like hard labor trying to hone craft and everything like that. That's been the work that I've been doing. As far as pros and cons for everything, I think it's my goal with music has always been to just have a platform to where I can reach people and inspire people and kind of bring positivity into the world because I feel like there's so much sadness and so much sad boy music and like depression and like sad things happening out there that like positivity and uplift and stuff is either designated as corny or it just doesn't exist. And so I kind of want to bring positivity back in some way, shape, or form, bring back memes, make people laugh and smile and whatnot. And so that's always been my inspiration a little bit for the music that I've been doing. And so that's kind of what drives me. And there's not really a con to it other than it costs a crap load of money and time to get yourself anywhere, but it's a fun process and I enjoy the grind. So it's not that bad.
Is there some artists that like you did features with, artists that you might like, uh, artists you want to do feature with, people you want to shout out?
For sure, for sure. I have a song coming tomorrow with a dude named Hyde and Placebo. Hyde does he lives in America and then Placebo lives in Switzerland, I believe. And so we kind of organized that collab and we've collabed on Placebo's album before. And so that's definitely going to be a fun track. But more importantly, I have a track in January. I think a dude named Samad Savage, he lives in New Jersey. We're flying him down to Texas to shoot a music video for a track that we've worked on together. And so that's what I'm focusing on right now. And as far as dream collabs, I'd have to definitely go Ariana Grande because she's
Interesting.
Ariana Grande.
Interesting though, boy. Logically interesting. I didn't. Now that threw me off. You know, you said that threw me off.
Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know that?
Yeah, that kind of threw me off. Now I know who Hyde is because I tapped him for an interview. I will be interviewing him soon. I think he's a great singer. I believe I will be interviewing him soon. I did tap him for an interview. So I do know who he is. So stay tuned for his interview. Shout out to him and Placebo. I know who he is too, cause that's how I found you. That nigga server, that server. And I think all y'all was in the same server. But I do this for people like y'all, so people can understand there's a lot of talented individuals that is not being heard. And our platform is there to give underground artists a platform to be heard. Their own platform made by people who's as independent as they are.
For sure, for sure. No doubt. And definitely appreciate you having me on here as well. It's a pretty dope opportunity. I really like what y'all doing out here. It's kind of giving a voice to the actual underground. Cause like there's the underground and then there's like the underground, where
Yeah.
like the underground people, like they don't have a lot of listeners, but like you look at like their Instagram and they still like 100K or something like that. So like they're not mainstream, but like they're still represented. Then you have like the tier where we are. It's like sub 10K followers, like kind of struggling to get that. So it's definitely appreciate what y'all doing out here for real.
Oh yeah, definitely. So definitely, man, we try to do what we sacrifice our time and our lives at times to do this, and but we do it because we love what we do, and we do it because we love to help the people that's around us. We all have that one thing in common, and that's music. We also do music. You know, V mine is he 10 years in. Uh, I'm about 5 years in. You know, Merce is about 4 years in. You know, we all into music, creating, making the full aspect of making music, the production, you know, the video, all that, and to see the people that's dedicated to their craft and giving it 100%. That's what we talking about. That's what we need these youngsters to understand. But next question is, and I ask a lot of people this: your music become ultra successful. What would it would be more important to you, the creative concept or the fame?
It's definitely the creative concept, 100%. I refuse to like. There's no deal which I ever give up creative control of what I want to create, and there's no scenario in which like I give up control of my masters. Like I don't care how much money you're throwing at me, it's not worth it. And like the satisfaction you get from being able to fully see a vision of yours all the way to completion is a far greater high than like getting money in any capacity. Because like at some point when you get enough money, you run out of things to buy, and that's why you end up with people in like philanthropy, and you can give back to people, and it's great to give back to the community and help bring up other people. But if you're just doing it for like the fame and the fortune, then it's not. I don't understand how you can have a sustainable career off of that. And I think that's why a lot of like artists and musicians end up getting depressed with everything, because they realize once they get everything, it's not really what they wanted. And so that's why I make sure that anything I have, I want full creative control. Because if I want to make a meme track, I want to make a meme track. If I want to rap about, anime, I want to be able to rap about anime. I don't want to say, okay, you need to do two albums full of, trapping into hood, when I haven't ever trapped into hood in my entire life, but they need me to do it for like the clout. Like I can't do that. I have to be real to myself 100% first and foremost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I look over this track and I see songs like That Rona Girl, Late Nights, A1, My Time, GTA, and there's so many versatile names. I don't know if collectively it was meant to harmonize in a certain way. So explain this. I guess it was a fundraising. Well, I'm looking at it on Spotify as they're saying the artist fundraising pick, but it's giving me a lot of your songs, and I just wanted to know what's your inspiration behind a lot of these names of these different songs, or the stories behind some of the songs that you have made, tracks you have made.
So legitimately, and this kind of ties into my previous point, it's my creative process. I kind of have the attention span of a butterfly. I
Yeah,
like to I like to make basically what I feel in the moment and just kind of
yeah,
go with that. I've prided myself on versatility, being able to kind of be a chameleon rapper, jack of all trades, not necessarily a master of none. But like I want to be able to do anything. Like I don't want to be hindered in my artistry by a lack of technical skill. And so I try and do absolutely everything humanly possible. If I want to make a pop track, I'm going to make a pop track. If I want to do something trappy and braggadocious, I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. And so there's not really like a Roane type sound right now, because I'm fluctuating between so many different genres and subgenres of music, and that
yeah.
it's not really a lot of stability in the music that I'm creating right now. And so I'm just out here trying to make stuff that sounds good and that I would listen to. And I listen to a bunch of different artists, and so I figure out, hey, why not just make music and then roll out with what happens. I'm figuring at some point I'll probably have to niche down, just so I can get a little bit of sustainability for like a fan base and an audience. But for now, I'm just definitely just kind of making whatever I want to make, and just kind of comes off of that.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you don't place yourself in a box. You know, I think it's cool that you're trying out different things. What's some of the genres that you kind of dipped in? You ever did like a rock song, pop song, or eclectic EDM type vibe of a song?
I had a track called Spaz back in 2016. It's still on my SoundCloud for whatever reason, but it's dub trap, and I had visions of like performing it at like colleges, but it just never saw it through. And so I did dub trap off of that. I've done the Rona Girl is probably the most Rona Girl and Late Nights are probably the most poppy things I've made. I've been on this like Logic, Joyner Lucas choppy trap flow thing for a little bit. And then the song I have coming out tomorrow with Hyde and Placebo, that's actually probably a lot more rock hip hop combination based as well. And so we're dabbling in pretty much everything. The only thing I can't pull off right now is R&B because I just do
Mm.
not have the singing chops for that at all. So we're a couple
Yeah,
years of practice away from that, but hopefully at some point we can pull it off. But just I just can't pull it off right now.
yeah. From what I can tell, most from what I can tell on Spotify, they doing very well. But right now, Dallas artists are hot. And speaking on that, one of my favorite artists from Dallas is Mo3. Um,
Yes, R.I.P. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Mo3, man. Incredible talent. Unfortunately, lost his life so short. Um, but the talent that's coming from Dallas, Dallas getting put in this new light, and people starting to really see how gifted people are that's coming out of Dallas, Texas. So to see you come out with your music and it's kind of completely different from this, but it's gaining that same success, shows how much talent is in Dallas, Texas right now. And I think Dallas could be one of them spots that can be a mecca for music, hip hop wise. Yeah, LOBs, they got Trap Boy, Freddie,
Post Malone too. He from Colleyville.
yeah,
He from
Post
right
Malone.
around here too. And so it's really interesting though because it all happened in like the past 5 to 10 years. Like before that, we were claiming Houston because Houston had everybody, and we had like Vanilla Ice, and that was the extent of the people that popped off from here. As far as like hip hop goes, so we were claiming everybody that came out of Houston, and then we started getting a little bit more, and so Dallas is starting to kind of stabilize its own little environment now. So it's kind of cool to see.
Absolutely. It reminds me of it reminds me kind of how the New Orleans scene was. I'm from New Orleans, and when it's a different type of appreciation for Southern music, and a lot of up north artists don't understand because, well, now I'm not gonna really say, yeah, I'm gonna say northeast and places that have the records label up the street. Our work ethic is got to be 20 times as harder. You know what I'm saying? You might say,
For
well,
real.
yeah, I have a Def Jam up the street, but it's not necessarily gonna get signed. But we can't walk up the street to Def Jam. That's the point.
Yeah, for sure, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? It's a different travel. It's a different journey. It's a lot of work. You gotta put your name in the streets. You gotta not only be hot where you from, then you gotta turn that and throw that across the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's the journey and the struggle. And it's been like that with the podcast also. So we didn't cross the international threshold. We done interviewed some international artists, people from overseas. We done from everywhere, from Russia to Australia to Ireland. But it's been a blessing because it's determination and working hard. And I like artists that continue to stay determined and working hard on their craft. You got anything new coming out in the future? Let them know about it. Oh, you did say it's single coming out tomorrow, so make sure y'all check that out. But anything else that you got coming out, let them know about it. Let them know what socials they can find you on. All that stuff.
No doubt, no doubt. So I've got like I said before, I got a track with Hyde and Placebo coming out tomorrow. It's going to be a YouTube exclusive, so make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. It's just going to be Roane, Roane. I've got an EP dropping December 10th called Let 'Em Know Volume 1. I'm dropping one EP a month for the next 3 months. It's going to be Let 'Em Know Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. It's going to be on the 10th of every month because, we stay grinding and making sure that we get as much content out there as humanly possible. Follow me on Instagram at Roane Music. It's Roane Music. Everywhere else, I'm everywhere else, but I don't really be checking the other places. So if you're trying to contact me, definitely Instagram. Do not send me an email because I have like 12,000 unread of those bad boys. Um, so definitely Instagram's a place to check me out at Roane Music. And then make sure you guys subscribe to the Battle Rap Kingdom YouTube channel as well. They be doing dope interviews, putting artists on the underground. And I have one question for you before I go though, because you said you're from New Orleans, the
Yeah,
Popeyes. I have heard that, and I've kind of experienced it because I lived in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for a little bit. The Popeyes gets better the closer you get to New Orleans. Is that true or false?
that's absolutely true. I would think, I don't know for 100%, but I would think that's absolutely true. So, whether they in New Orleans, so I would think that closer you get to it, the better. But I mean, a lot of people can fix fried chicken, but don't nobody fix fried chicken like Popeyes.
That's true. That's true. Because I had it in Texas, and then I went to Mississippi, and I was like, wait. I did not know this was an option. I did not know it could taste like this. And then I went back to Texas, and I cannot go to Popeyes in Texas anymore because they just don't taste the same at all.
Yeah, ain't the same feel. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mhm. It's just something about New Orleans culture, New Orleans food.
You got some secret seasoning, some extra juiciness, something over there, something along those lines.
I'm going on, man. They cook their ass off, man. Go ass ain't been cooking for 10 years myself. But I'm doing some other business ventures now. I don't have to cook, but I did that for a long time. Really, the coronavirus kind of crippled that. But I had something else that happened in the midst of that. So it didn't affect me, but I know it affected a lot of people. So I Texas at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yes. That's what I was wondering about. Yeah, it's definitely impacting a lot of people though.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's been a crazy time, man. It's missing people money and stuff. It's a tough to talk about. But yeah, man, we shit getting better. They better give us our stimulus checks. We need our money.
Amen. Amen.
Hopefully, we switch
Put
the
more
house.
cash in my account, by whatever means necessary. We out here looking for the bag.
Absolutely. Hopefully, I feel like ain't nothing gonna happen until they switch office in January. So with that being said, let's switch everything over to the Democrats so we can get our money. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
shit.
get the money. Get the
Them
money.
two senators in January. Them Democratic senators vote. Go out and vote. If you ain't go out and vote, vote for these runoffs, man. Get them Democratic senators in there. Get them Republicans the fuck out there so Mitch Connell ain't in charge of the Senate. Be smart, pay attention on what's going on in the news. He doing all this. He can do all this now because he's in charge. But if the Democrats win, he will no longer be in charge. You watch TV, get out and vote, man, and get informed.
For real though, man. Because a lot of people they realize like the presidency is the only thing that matters. That's what they think. But like the president's a figurehead. Like you got to go out and vote for your local people. You got to vote for the senators. Like those are the people that actually changing stuff. You can't just stop at just the president. You got to get everybody. Do your research.
Absolutely. Now, shout out Spirit Walker in the comments. Looking for good comments. Shout out everybody that's watching the live, man. Like my guy said, subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our BattleRapKingdom.com YouTube, subscribe to our Instagram, Battle Rap Kingdom on Instagram, on Twitter. Um, Also, just a quick couple of announcements. Coming soon, hopefully. I'm trying to see. We got a battle event coming up. Plug Talk, December 7th. King Kairos versus Terror Vert. Also, we got we about to take battle rap. Not the battle rap aspect of Chop It Up podcast aspect to caffeine. So maybe doing some stuff where we talking about the news on our news segments on caffeine. So y'all stay tuned for that. But like I said, we do battle rap events, we do podcasts. If you're an independent artist and you want to be interviewed, don't be afraid to reach out. We got all these social as things you can reach out. Our Discord is in the links. Or the links gonna be in the bottom in the link section. Um, Yeah, man, it was a pleasure talking to you, man. It's a pleasure having you on.
You as well, man. And thank you again for having me. This was fun. This is very, very fun. I appreciate what y'all doing for the culture, for real.
Absolutely. We appreciate you for coming on, man. And it's been the Chop It Up podcast. This your boy Hawklyfe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay in tune, man. More to come. Be back at 6 p.m. tonight. Another live stream. We're gonna be interviewing singer-songwriter Eli Ways. So be in the building. Be in the building.